Hi everyone, I hope you still have energy to listen to yet another presentation. There's two more interesting presentations to go. My name is Andrey Maksimov. I represent a company called Precious Payload, and we do the space mission management software. So exactly a lot of presentations throughout these 2 days, they mentioned the problem of project management and sharing the knowledge between the teams. So this is exactly the problem that we're tackling. But before I start talking about the business and the software, I wanted to say a few words about where I'm coming from. So I'm a Russian citizen. I live in the United Arab Emirates. I am Canadian resident, and I do business as a US startup. And I'm presenting in India today. What does it mean? It means that there are basically no borders visible from space. We all know that, right? We all know that the astronauts, their first impression when they got into space, they said there are no boundaries. Like, I don't see any difference between the countries. And I think this is exactly what we as a young generation, adults, what we have to do. Like, we're becoming a global citizens, right? And I think this is why a lot of young people, they crave to work in industries like blockchain and software and internet and space, because these are industries that allow you to communicate with different countries, with Indians abroad, with all the different organizations around the world. And this is how we have to share our knowledge. This is how we have to build our projects and our careers on top of someone else's knowledge that's is available there. It's available on the internet. It's available in some books or spreadsheets. And we have to fix the system in a way that we as a space industry have to have access to all this knowledge. So yeah, that's a few words about where I'm coming from. So the first question I want to ask you is, who are you? How many of you can you raise your hands, who are students here? Okay, that's like 80%. Okay, how many of you do work in universities with those students? Anyone? Okay, a handful. Great. So how many of you work in space companies, space industry? 3, 4, 5. That's it. Okay, 5. Good. And how many of you have launched their own satellites as a part of the team? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got it. That's good recommendation. So listen, guys, in the next 2 years, if I come back in 25 months, I want the amount of hands that were raised about launching satellites to be as big as there are students right now, okay? Can you promise me that? Good, good. And why is that? This is my first visit to India, and I think, honestly, you guys have great potential. You have great technology here. I asked all these teams and people who launch the satellites from India or build them in India, asked them, how many components did you have to import in the country? They said 0, or they said 5%, or they said 3%. It's really awesome that you guys have all this technology. And the problem is that it's underutilized. It's not utilized. But I heard that there are more than 250 private or semi-government organizations working in space sector with ISRO that have all these components and hardware, and they're ready to be applied in your projects. So you have everything from the technology side. You have really great talent. I'm amazed. I myself, I'm the engineer. I graduated as a master's degree in microelectronics. So I do understand when I see talents, I can recognize that. So you guys have a lot of talent here. And of course you have heritage, like amount of missions that you guys do and have already done. And, we're all looking forward for this 7th September Chandrayaan-2 landing. I will be there, watching online, hopefully on YouTube if there's something available on YouTube. And I think 2 more things. You have political will. So that's important. I've lived in so many countries and I've visited so many countries, and it's a gift if your governments have the will to pursue these projects, especially if they understand that the private industry have to take it from there. It's really important. And I think you're privileged in the sense that your government supports, I mean, it's going to be slow because, come on, it's a government in a big country, but at least there's a political will to shift the space industry gears to the private hands. It's really important. And of course, the language. I'm amazed that, you know, that you all speak beautiful English and you all communicate within the states in English. It's really great. That lowers the barriers for you to, again, collaborate on the projects with other countries and organizations. Great. So the agenda for today is basically, the remaining agenda for today is basically, I want to explain what we do as Precious Payload and how can we as a team help you. So a few words about our team. We are a small startup of only 8 people, but we work fully remotely, you know, to support the idea of being a global company. And we reside in 6 different countries. So 8 people, 6 different countries, and we constantly travel to each other. So we don't communicate only online. We also do like offline meetings every quarter. Yeah. So how did we all start? So we had an idea of providing the software that will ease the barriers for the companies that are launching their satellites to manage their supply chain and basically to communicate their space mission design to all other third parties that you have to interact to in order to reach mission success. So we started with what we call the booking system for small satellites. Basically, this was our minimum viable product, as we call it in startup world. So basically, it's a software tool that enables you to connect with any launching company in the world. So we have close to 30 launch companies that can provide launch services to the companies around the world. So we have US, we have Russia, we have Asia, we have Japan, we have Europe. So we have pretty all of the ways to launch a payload to space. And as a test of our model, we created the very simple online software where you can log in, you can create your digital mission profile, you can submit it to different launch providers, and then basically connect with all the VP of sales of companies like SpaceX and Virgin Orbit or Rocket Lab inside the platform. And basically they look at your mission profile, you get launch proposals from them. So with that, here's also a short demo of how it looks like. So you create your mission profile. You say, I'm a private company, want to launch an Earth observation satellite. I'm, let's say, based in the United States. Then you define your payload as a 3U CubeSat. You define the mass. Then you go and specify the orbit when you want to launch, which launch options do you want to do, be it a ride share, or you want to do like a dedicated small rocket, depending on the size of your payload and your budget. And then basically it helps you formulate a launch request. And then the way it works is that the software keeps your profile of your mission as it evolves, and then you can easily share, like on a Facebook, you can share with your other organizations, you can share it with insurance company, you can share it with your suppliers. So basically this simplifies the sharing of knowledge and your project and improves your project management. So you can have all your team across different organizations, you can have your third-party providers from abroad or within India, all on the same page, looking at the same mission design that you guys are going to develop. So results to date is we've matched over 100 space missions to over 25 launch providers as only this launch booking platform. So total mass of satellites that went through our platform was more than 1 ton. And what we're going to do next is we're basically, for the acceleration program we're part of now, we're going to advance this launch booking system to all the other aspects of managing the mission. So we'll transition to helping the mission, or doing the mission concept, supply chain management, legal, testing, insurance, licensing, and everything. So everything will be in the same fashion that you've seen in the demo. It's going to be a pretty, simple software online where you just log in and then you can communicate with our team, you can communicate with your collaborators on the mission, and you can directly interface with the licensing authorities, legal support guys, or ground station setup folks. So we have partnered with a orbital transport company in the United States that is handling the space mission planning for us in the complex cases. we've partnered with Factum Law, Mr. Ashok, who done a great presentation yesterday on the legal aspects of creating settled missions outside of India, in India, sorry. Then we have great team from Khalifa University in Abu Dhabi. They just made a commercial spin-off called Fada Space Services, so they are going to help with integration in case there are some complex cases that need their expertise. And we also have an early support from UAE Space Agency. That's basically where I live, and I support the initiatives that are being done in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So yeah, they're our strategic partner for this mission. Yeah, so just to conclude, how we can help you today. So what I urge you to do, there is Nidhi. Can you stand up? Yeah, she has. She's helping me. She has the iPads. This iPad has a simple text file where you can leave your contact details. Basically, I need your email and the name of organization. She will just hand it over. While we are finishing this session, she'll hand it over to the folks that are interested to leave their contact details. What you will get in return is we'll help you to advance in the mission concept and feasibility study phase. So, we'll discuss the ideas for your payload. We can help you formulate the feasibility study and, take it to the proposal level that you can share to the different organizations. I will send you like a cheat sheet, it looks like this. It's a spreadsheet that basically outlines all the steps you have to do in the right sequence in order to achieve mission success. So what comes after what and what not to forget. And also you'll get a free account within our platform where you can, again, just create your mission profile and then update it once it advances, and then just easily share it to other organizations. So yeah, all you need is to find that iPad, fill in your contact details. That's it. I'll come back to my office. I'll send you all the details. Yeah, and just recommendations. I think, yeah, this understanding roadmap, it was mentioned already today and many times. Understanding what comes after what is really important. We've seen the cases where, the team would build satellite almost to the stage of readiness for the launch, and then they would start registering their satellite for spectrum communication and understand that there is no spectrum allocation for the payload that they've designed at all. So they had to rebook their launch, they had to rebuild the satellites almost from scratch to redesign the antenna and communication scheme. So yeah, this is why we created this cheat sheet for the roadmap to space. International collaboration. So it's all about communicating with other teams in Germany and other organizations and other countries that are on the same stage, or they can share the knowledge with you. And yeah, as was mentioned many times, don't try to do everything on your own. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I think, my vision for you guys and my vision for this industry down the road is that I don't want all of you to build these mega constellations and compete for VC money and, do startups. I believe that where the industry goes is we have to have an ability of building small enterprises in space. So I think when the launch cost goes low, when cost of building a satellite goes low, when the licensing regime is streamlined, I want every one of you to think of, okay, how can I, go to the bank, maybe get a loan, business loan, and then launch 1, 2, 3 small satellites, and then live off of this income. Make it a family business. Make it, a business that you can do together with your fellow students, here, maybe based in university. So my vision is that, it's not going to be, it should not be like mega constellations like Silicon Valley and whatever. It should be a business case where you've launched your student satellite, 1 or 2, and then you advance to the commercial operations where you can sustain your business from the space asset. Okay, I'm going to end with just sharing the resources where you can read more about what we do and where we share the knowledge for free. Again, we want to share as much knowledge as we can. So we have the blog post. We just yesterday, our team, while I was here, posted our article about 3 eras of space launch for small sats. So there you can see what different rockets and ways to transport the satellite are available now commercially. And there is a lot of knowledge being shared there. Second thing is just find us on the YouTube. So we post all our interviews with launch companies, interviews with the companies that we helped. So there is a great interview with Ahmed Awais from Pixel, an Indian company, an Indian startup. So this session is also being recorded by my camera there, so you can expect to have it online as well on the YouTube channel. So yeah, just find us on YouTube, subscribe. A lot of knowledge is there. And last but not least, there's a QR code. I hope you can read it with your phone. It links to the Telegram group called 75 Student Satellites. I created it just an hour ago, so it's empty. But yeah, please try to scan it. If not, I can make it bigger if it doesn't work. And yeah, join us in Telegram group. We can communicate there. We can, chat, share questions, answers, knowledge, whatever. We can connect you directly in Telegram with, whoever you want, or from consultants, components, builders, whatever. So does it work? Can you scan it? Should I make it bigger? Hey, does it work? Should I check my Telegram now, or? Okay, cool. I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.